Welcome, my name is Cedric Johnson. Today is August the 3rd, 2015. Today, this particular video is more of about going paperless in the office. The challenges of paperless in the office. So, throughout this, I'm explaining the pros and cons and really basically the good things about going paperless, the bad things about going paperless in office. So, let's go. But let me first explain, coming down to this. Going paperless in the office can be a good thing, can be a bad thing. It depends on the people who you have surrounding you. You have some people there who's not tech savvy. You got some that aren't tech savvy. So going paperless will be more of a challenge for the ones that's not that tech savvy than the ones that are. So when you finna go paperless, you have to take into consideration of everybody. You have to look at everybody to see where everybody stands. It's not like you can go completely get rid of all of these, throw them away all at once. No, you can't do that. Because if you do that, you can hurt yourself. Because of the fact of the matter is that the ones on this side isn't tech savvy. But the ones on here, never know. The big head boss might be the one that's not tech savvy. And basically speaking, he feel like that he's not catching on or not going fast. He might just come back and say, you know what? We gonna keep this paper here. So when trying to implement a paperless office, you gotta first take everyone into consideration. Who know how to use it? Who don't know how to use it? What type of training that you gonna send everybody through? So from that point, first of all, before you do it, think about your employees. Now coming down to really the main points of the main points of challenges in the office. We're gonna start with the cons. Usually I start with the pros, but this time I'm gonna start with the bad stuff about it. The bad stuff basically really the opposite of the good stuff, but I'm gonna go with the bad stuff. The bad thing to me will probably be security. When you go paperless, you're risking everything by putting it on to a disk, a small little disk, a floppy disk, a disk, anything. Other things, or the clouds, the little cloud there is. The reason why I say this because the fact of the matter is, throughout the years we have seen and we know, ain't nothing secured. Hackers are out there hacking everything. Hackers have basically hacked the movie theaters. Hackers have hacked convenience stores, department stores, everything. So going paperless, there's a huge risk. And that's a risk you would have to think about. Are you willing to take it, or are you not willing to take it? But throughout the process and all that stuff, there are ways to avoid it. Even though ain't nothing secured. I mean, ain't nothing secured. But there are ways to where you can keep your stuff going and still worry about it, but not have to worry about it in a big whole way. On the opposite side of that, of the security part, is this right here. The positive is this right here compared to the paper. Let's just say, for instance, you have a massive fire, right? If everything is backed up onto your hard drives, backed up onto a server that's not in that office, you have a massive fire inside your office. And guess what? What have you lost? Just the office. Paperwork, client information, client person, your employees' information, all that stuff, it's all saved. You just log into that server and you re-download everything onto your hard drive. That's a good thing about it. Like I said, it's a good thing with the positive. There's a negative to the security part. Another part, we start with the comes with this one again will mainly be storage. Yes, storage. When you go on paperless, you gonna need storage space, not the storage place where you using file cabinets and all this stuff. No, data storage. Go from millibytes, gigabytes, terabytes, all that. You need storage. You will have to take into consideration on how much storage you're gonna need. And if you don't, how can I say, think about it as much, if you get a smaller, if you were to get some smaller storage space, and you know you have a big company, but you don't want to basically spend a lot of money to get that storage space you need. Let's say, for instance, the storage get filled. You're trying to add new data to it, but you can't because the storage is full. Meaning you're gonna have either one or two options: delete some old information, and if you delete the old information, who's to say the information is something that you won't need? Other part about it is going out and buying new storage. You can either do an add-on to where you can add on to the storage, or you can buy a bigger one to where you can just transfer. The issue with the transferring is that it's gonna take all day. It's gonna slow you down. You're gonna miss money because the fact of the matter is you transfer the data. So when it comes down to it, think about it. How much storage am I gonna need? If I'm dealing with 200-300 some people, yeah, it might get a terabyte or two, maybe 3-4 terabytes. Safe side, 7-8 terabytes. Dealing with small group, still terabyte. And in a business, it's best to have a terabyte. The reason why I say that is because you never know what might happen. Never know. The positive part about all this is it's really simple. Your cabinet space, gone. You move that cabinet space, you can add maybe 3 or 4 new employees. That's the good part about it. So move on from that point will basically be, let's go on to basically went from the pros and cons of the storage, pros and cons of the employees, went from pros and cons of security. And one of the biggest things I look at is really when you go on paperless, the biggest thing, me personally, that I look at is mainly, really being honest, truthfully, what kind of system you're running, what kind of computer you're running, what kind of hardware you're running, with all that. The reason why I say that is because you would need a good operating system to basically to keep running the files over and over again when you go on paperless. That's the challenges of basically going paperless in Office. You can look at it many things in a good way, a few bad things, a few okay ways, but at the end of the day, there are a lot of challenges to it. The biggest problem would be, what would be the challenge that your office will have? What would be the challenge that this office will have? You really want to know until you just really just sit down and actually ask yourself, what can I do? How can I figure this out? And that is where my final part come in. Because when you want like that, you're going to need somebody who's in the IT field to maintain that. It can be a good way and it can be a bad way. I'm going to start with the good on this one because I have a lot more to say with the good than the bad. Dealing with the good part of the storage, not hiring IT to maintain all this stuff, is because of this right here. He's going to know what you need as far as the space, what type of security, everything else to make sure you can run it the way you want. The best part about it, he can teach and train the employees that who really don't know much about these computers and stuff. That person can do a lot. The IT person can do a lot. Yeah, it's gonna cost you a little bit of money, but yeah, it's a good thing to at least have someone that's on call for when your system breaks, to maintain that server, to maintain everything that you're putting inside of there. The bad part is, yeah, depending on who you hire, that person might be setting you up to where they steal all your data, sell it to whoever, such. But I mean, that rarely happens. But the biggest part is really, with most companies, what they do, they don't really think about is that they spend a lot more money hiring contractors, temps, through all that to maintain all of that, instead of just hiring someone just to, yeah, every once in a while, yeah, the person might be sitting on their behind, not doing any work. But at least you know your system is running properly compared to if you were to go out and constantly hire contractors, tech and all that stuff. They come in, fix the problem, leave. A few days later, it breaks down again. You call them again. They can't come in and fix it because they're probably working on something else, and you have to go through your phone book to figure out who else can I get to come in versus the one you hire. Me personally, I had to hire someone who gonna be there. If it don't break down for 2 or 3 weeks, guess what? He got paid 2 or 3 weeks. It's better than hiring from them. But throughout this particular presentation, this video mainly was talking about the challenges of really going paperless in a workplace. There are a lot of good things about it, not a lot of bad things, but there are some major bad things to think about when you go on paperless in a workplace. The biggest thing what you should always do and think about is your employees, the security, the space meaning what kind of RAM, what kind of gigabytes and all this stuff that what you gonna have. And the biggest thing is, who are you gonna get to maintain all of that information? So once again, my name is Cedric Johnson. Have a good day.